Welcome friend in Tech Job Hunt. So, do you want to learn React JS from the scratch and build a real world project like YouTube? And you don't just want theory, you want practical skill, confidence and a job ready roadmap? Then this playlist going to cover up all these things. So I am launching this React JS course for beginners so you can learn React JS from the beginning to advanced level. So after completing this course, I can make sure you that you will able to build a real time application with React.js. So today we are going to discuss our React.js roadmap. So you will have the idea that what we are going to learn in this playlist and what projects we will build and how clearly we can understand React.js from interview point of view as well as your application development point of view. So from basic to advanced level, we will learn full-fledged course, in-depth analysis of each topic, real-time project development. For example, YouTube clone. So in this playlist, we will clone the YouTube and add all the functionalities of YouTube using React.js concepts. So it's going to be a very uh, best reach of React.js from development point of view as well as conceptual clarity point of view. What is prerequisites for this React.js course? So before starting React, you must be comfortable with these basic skills which is required. First is HTML. You should have idea about the HTMLs like how we use tags, how create forms and semantic elements. What are the semantic elements? H1, H2, UL, LI elements. So all these things you should have a basic idea. CSS. So you should have idea about the CSS, how you write CSS for your HTML element so that you can make a responsive website. Third is JavaScript, very important because React.js is a framework of JavaScript. So you will apply the concept of JavaScript into your React.js. So that's why you should have idea about the React.js. So JavaScript. So in JavaScript, variables, function and arrow function, arrays and objects, map, filter, reduce function, promises and async and await and ES6 features. So all these basic things you should have idea. And if you will not have idea about these things, then I will try to cover up all these concepts in our videos so that you can clearly understood all the concept of JavaScript as well as a use of JavaScript in your React.js application. So ES6 features basically nothing is a ECMA 2015 JavaScript features. So in this you include the information about the function, arrow function, promises, async and await. So all these things you JavaScript introduced in 2015's framework, uh, the promises, asynchronous operation, variables, function, arrow function introduction. So that's called the ES6 features. So all these things we will try to cover up if you don't have idea about it. So no problem, you don't need to worry about it. So if your JavaScript is weak, React will feel a little bit harder, but uh, I will not uh, let you feel harder because I will try to make sure that you should understand clearly all the concept. So before explaining the React.js concept, I will try to explain the JavaScript concept also. Phase 1. So this is, so we will try to learn phase wise. So first is beginning level, then we will move to intermediate level, then we will lead to advanced level. So at the beginning level, we will try to cover up all the basic concepts of the React.js. So this is a description of that phase. You can see uh, topic we will learn in the beginning phase, that what is React and why we use React. Create React app, we will try to create React app using the VJ tool. So this is a JavaScript tool, VJ. So by using this, we usually create a React application. So all the necessary node modules will be installed in your React application. What is a project folder structure? We will try to understand the folder structure. First time when you create a React app, then the basic folders are there, just like package, JSON file, index.js, index.html, node modules, source file. So all these things we will try to understand that what uh, functionality are there in each folder and files. JSX, JavaScript plus HTML. So this is a JSX uh, tag we usually use in React.js to make the component. Okay. So when we try to write a HTML tag, then we use JSX. So it's a JavaScript XML tree. Okay. So that's called the JavaScript. So it's a combination of the JavaScript plus HTML. So you directly not create HTML tag. JSX provide the functionality of JSX provide the functionality to write a HTML code with JS functionality. Okay, so that's the role of the JSX. What is the components? So before React 16 version, we were using a class-based component, but after that React has introduced the functional component. So in this we will try to learn about the functional component. I will give few idea about the class component if required, but major industries are now using the functional component. So components is like a basic uh, HTML nodes, you can say, in which you return some HTML node structure and try to perform some operation within that component. So this is a component. Components are in React.js are the reusable components, so you can use uh, components at a different places. Props is a passing data. So props is like passing data from one component to another component. So just like that, we usually use props. What is the state is kind of component variables. So on that component variable basis, your component perform uh, changes. Event handling, you should have idea about the event handling, that what events are there in your user interface, like button click, mouse hover, your window resize. So all these things are called the event handling. So at the beginning level we will learn about the event handling also. Conditional rendering, like if else condition. If this flag is true, then you render some another HTML elements, and else you return some other HTML element. So that's called the conditional rendering. List and keys are like mapping array. kind of thing. We have a list of data and try to uh, write on the user interface. So this called a list and keys. Mini projects, what we will build at a beginning level. The mini projects are counter F. So it's kind of on click button, counter is increasing, decreasing. So all these things are the mini projects at the beginning level. So we will try to make these utility apps kind of things, basic operation you perform. To do app, simple navbar, how navbar will be created. Movie list UI, list, there is a list of movies and you want to render it, then how can you render? So these mini projects will cover up your basic phase 1 concepts. Okay, so at this stage your goal is to think in components. Okay, so within components, what operations are there, how the components work, how it's working uh, within components, how state variables are working on in the components, how component life cycle is working. So all these things we will learn at a beginner level. Phase 2 is an intermediate React. So now React is starting getting powerful. So it's kind of quotation. It is telling that now React is start getting powerful. So you have idea, you now have idea about the components and basic React functionalities. So now you will able to build a mid-level applications using all these basic concepts. So at the intermediate level, we will try to cover up hooks, useEffect hooks, and another hooks. API calling, how you call external API to fetch the response, and then you render that response to your UI component. React router, multiple pages are there. So how you uh, render your component from one URL to another URL without refresh. So you make that single page application. Okay. So you are seeing that with some other another framework MVC framework, or you can say Java frameworks are there. So you render from one URL to another URL, then your URL is getting refresh every time. Okay, so that thing will be managed through the React router, so that your URL is not getting refreshed. Okay, so that's where we use React router. Controlled forms, if there is a form you want to control, like make sure that your form is filled, there is some kind of regex you want to implement, then you can make the controlled forms using the state variables. Lifting state of, so lifting state of is kind of thing like passing component data from one component to another component, and according to manage both components. So that's called the lifting state of. Reusable components, we will learn how the one component is used at a multiple places, how we call it, and how we handle its state variable. Next thing is the environment variables. So like you want to declare some key value information that is static and want to get that information from some files, so that called the environment variables. So for example, you want to store the API base URL, or any token you want to store that is a static on the client side. So on the React.js side, then you can use the environment variables. Then we will learn about the basic performance optimization, how you can optimize your component, your hook. Okay, so all these things we will learn at the intermediate level. So what is the projects we are going to do? Weather app API based, there will be the testing API, and we will try to get that API information, and then we will render that information on your user interface. Blogging app, e-commercial UI, how the e-commerce website we will build that there is multiple products are there in your e-commerce, adding those uh, things in your shopping cart, removing the shopping cart. So all these things we will try to build mini projects in your intermediate phase. So this is where you start building real application, not just demos, but you will build a real application that is kind of working application, so that user can use that kind of application. So at that level we will try to make a application. Phase 3 is advanced React. So in this we will learn some advanced level React concepts. So it's kind of leading your React JS application at that level. This is called the advanced React phase 3 level. So now maybe move to industry level React. Let's suppose there is a industry application that is uh, used by lakhs of users. Then how you handle your UI component. So at that level we will try to understand the React. So in the advanced topic there is a context API, how you store some information and try to deliver that information at different component, in sub component, in child component also, and how you manage state of that variables, or you can say objects. So that's we will learn in the context API. Redux and Redux Toolkit, this is important toolkit externally installed in your React.js. So that's why we called it as a Redux toolkit. So it is kind of storing information at one place and try to extract that information whenever we want and wherever we want. Okay, so it's kind of your state box. You have a box and you have stored that information at one time, and now with that box be you are extracting that information at your requirement basis. Authentication, how you authenticate your basic API application in your UI page. So that what we learn because you don't want that any user can use that application. You want some kind of security to implement it. So we will try to make a API interface also, and then we will make that application as a secure application. So that's where we will learn about the authentication, especially the JWT token. So I will try to tell you about the JWT token authentication also. What are the different attributes in the JWT, how the payload passes, where we store the JWT token in your UI interface. So all those things we will try to cover up. What are protected routes? So when you authenticate some components, or you want to authenticate some URLs, then how you can authenticate using the protected route. Lazy loading, so lazy loading is kind of thing that your component should not render until it is called. So that's where we call this as a lazy loading. Code splitting, how your component is split into multiple places. What are error boundaries? So we will try to learn where hooks should be used, where not, how we use hooks. So that's kind of thing we will learn in the error boundaries. Custom hooks, we will try to build up a custom hooks. Like there are some inbuilt React hooks like useState, useEffect, use callback, use memo, use context. So all these hooks are inbuilt hooks. So we will try to create a custom hooks, so that hooks we can use in our components. So that thing also we will learn. Deployment, how will deploy your React.js application so that your UI will show on the server. So on the browser you can deploy your application and then you can use it like a industry level application. Okay, so at this level, you reach this level, you are no longer a beginner but you are a React developer. Now at this phase you will be a React developer. So pure React developer should have all these ideas, because any application which is secure and scalable, that application is called a complete application. Some utility functionalities are not the application. Application are some kind of thing that perform some end-to-end operation. Like let's suppose there is a e-commerce application, then uh, your application should make sure that your application should be secure. Every user should have a login and password. Every user should have a state. Any user cannot bypass that security features. Okay, all users have their profiles, their account information, their shopping information. There is a payment gateway also. How we will implement that payment gateway so that you can make a secure payment, and how you manage the concurrency also. Let's suppose there are one product and multiple users want to buy that product. So how you will make sure that that product is concurrent. So if any user has like added that add that product and try to make the payment is getting failed, another user also has added that product and now he can buy. So there will be a inconsistency between both users. So you need to make sure these things. What are edge cases? How you handle errors? So then your project will product. Okay. Phase 4 full-fledged project YouTube cloning. So in phase 4 we will build a project, real-time project, that's called YouTube cloning. So in this we will try to make a YouTube level application that is work like a YouTube. So in that we will use some testing APIs of YouTube and extract YouTube videos information. Then we will try to add subscription, likes, comments, features, your adding queue, playlist, account information. So we will try to make a YouTube product, like a YouTube product, not a YouTube product but like a YouTube. So we will sorry, let's see, one second. We build a YouTube clone from scratch. Feature we build home page with videos, search videos, video player page, channel page, like, comment, subscribe, real time API data, response design, dark mode authentication, state management, tech stack. Tech stack we use React JS, React Router, Redux Toolkit, YouTube Data API, Tailwind CSS, Axios, and if required, then we will use a Firebase or authentication. Okay, so all these tech stack will be used and try to build a YouTube, a replica of YouTube. So this project alone is enough to crack interviews and impress recruiters. Okay. Learning strategy. What should be learning strategy for React JS? So we will learn concept, build small projects, break things and fix them, read documentation. So I am not telling you to rely only on some kind of YouTube videos or some kind of external documentation, but visit the react.org website. There you should uh, try to uh, scroll down all the features of React.js. What are the features in React? So visit that forum and take a look of all the concepts. Practice daily 1 to 2 hours. So try to practice React.js to make a component, to build some utility apps, kind of to do things like make state change, pass props, data, and all these things. So these things will lead to you build a conceptual. So don't rush. Consistency beats speed. This is our motto. So we will not try to rush, but we will try to learn each concept one by one. So if you want to make sure that this playlist is going to good, and you should have a clear idea, you can like this video, subscribe this channel, and add this playlist also, because in this playlist definitely we are going to learn React from scratch to expert level. Comment React below if you have liked this roadmap and have a faith in me to learn React. Then please comment React below in this video. Thank you, big job, and bye bye. We will meet with first lesson of React.js, and we will stream these projects and roadmap in the future videos. Okay, bye bye. Thank you.